In all our previous tutorials, you may have been hearing the phrase main method, and how it's always where the computer reads first. It makes sense since the method is named with main. So, what are methods in general? In this video, I won't be teaching you how to code a method. Rather, I want you to first be able to understand it so that it all makes sense on what a method really is. As you can see, I have everything set up here, and within the main method, I've declared and initialized a string called Java is fun. Keep in mind that a string is a non-primitive data type or user-defined data type. Now, the problem I want to solve is print out every second character in the string starting with the first letter. So if I want to be able to check every letter of the string sequentially, I want to use a for loop. So I type for, parentheses, int I equals 0, semicolon, I less than string.length, and then I++ with two curly braces for our for loop code. Because any string is user-defined, it has components that describe the string. When we type .length with two parentheses, we were actually calling a method, and this method gives us back how long the phrase Java is fun is. If you go online to the Oracle Docs, which is essentially an encyclopedia for Java, you can see all the methods for strings. And for instance, right here, the first method listed here alphabetically is char@, which returns the char value at the specified index. And hey, look at that. This is really useful for our problem since we wanted to find every other character in our original string. Going back to our code, within our block of code for loops, if we want to check every other index of string starting with index 0, we have to use an if statement. So we type if, parentheses, I modulus 2 equal signs and 0, and then do two curly braces to type block of code for the curly braces. And within our block of code for if statements, we want to use the char@ method we just learned. At the same time, we want to print out every other letter. So we can type system.out.println, parentheses, string.char@, parentheses, I. To describe it again, we type .char@ to receive a certain description of the string Java is fun. In this case, it is the character at the specified index location depending on I. Now, if we go here to our terminal window, if we compile the code, and then run our code, we get the result of J, V, space, and N. Now, I want you to be able to solve a similar problem where this time you have to print out every third letter in the string learning is great. Pause this video and see if you can do it on your own. A hint I highly recommend is copy and pasting code. I'm going to comment out the code here so that nothing from the problem gets printed out. So the only difference between our initial problem was printing out every third character instead of every other character. So I'm just going to copy the code and paste it below. Then I'm going to change this number from 2 to 3 within the if statement since we're looking at every third character. And that should be pretty much it. If we compile and run our code now, we get a different set of letters here, which are L, R, N, I, G, and A. You of course notice that we basically type the same code again. As you may have learned, code duplication is bad because it makes it harder to debug and maintain the code in large-scale applications. If we made one mistake in one of the for loops, then we would have to change that mistake one by one for every other block of code. Now you may be thinking of having nested for loops because of the way the code is iterated. However, the problem is, what if I wanted you to only print out every other character, every third character, every fifth character, and every sixth character? Also, I also prompted you with a different string, even though the tasks were almost the same. There is no simple pattern in this iteration, so it's not convenient to use for loops. And the solution that Java offers us is methods themselves. As done previously, every string had defined methods of its own. It made doing certain tasks on the string very simple. Since string is a user-defined data type including user-defined methods, we as users can also define methods of our own, which will be discussed in the next tutorial.